And he's like, I needed a nurse practitioner yesterday. So that's how I landed my first job. I had a total of probably 5 jobs about 3 months after graduating nurse practitioner school. Hi guys, thanks so much for joining me. My name is Angie and I'm a nurse practitioner and I've been a nurse practitioner for the past 9 months. In this video, we are going to talk about how to land your first job as a nurse practitioner in the midst of a pandemic. So I just want to tell you guys and share my experience because I believe that my experience is unique because in the midst of a pandemic, I was able to land 3 jobs and received 2 offers, 2 informal offers. So I had a total of probably 5 jobs about 3 months after graduating nurse practitioner school, which is kind of unheard of. So you guys are tuned in probably because you just graduated nurse practitioner school. Congratulations. That's a huge accomplishment. And so you're here because you can't find a job or you need advice on how to sharpen up your strategy in order to obtain a job. So I'm here to help you. I've done my research. I've researched so many strategies. I've looked at so many videos. I've read so many books, and I'm here to simplify everything so that you can land your dream position in a matter of, hopefully this video's 10 minutes, but it might go over. So the first step I'm going to talk about is networking. And I know that you've probably heard this so many times, but networking is so crucial to you landing your first position. And so how I did this is I attended nurse practitioner organizations. I networked with the doctors that I worked with. I pretty much made it known to every nurse practitioner or physician that I know that I graduated nurse practitioner school. And sometimes, guys, it's as simple as just letting it be known that you graduated. And be bold. The way I landed my current position that I'm in now is that I texted a physician that I worked for, and honestly, I didn't know he was hiring at all. I just thought I'd text him like, hey, by the way, I just graduated, so if you're hiring a nurse practitioner, I'm available. And he said, you know what? I actually have been wanting to hire a nurse practitioner. And he's like, I needed a nurse practitioner yesterday. So that's how I landed my first job, is I just simply put it out there that I graduated, and I contacted everyone I know. And I think it starts with just being bold and making bold moves like that. Another thing that I did was join MP organizations. And I think people really underestimate this step, but this is a pretty big deal. So joining these MP organizations allows you to gain exposure. And so nurse practitioners that you're unfamiliar with, you get to network with them, you get to talk to them. One individual who attended a nurse practitioner organization with me, she was actually looking for a job. The person hosting the nurse practitioner meeting made an announcement and basically put her on the spot and let everyone know that she was just graduated nurse practitioner school and she's looking for a position. And so I think one of the simple steps is just being a part of nurse practitioner organizations local in your area, and just making it known to those organizations that you are looking, and maybe even emailing the host directly. Make sure that they put out your resume and email it to everyone they know. That I did that was, I felt like super helpful, but I feel like this is also a step that you can get away with not doing. For me, I hired someone to spruce up my resume, and I found this super beneficial because I personally did not want to use the same resume that I've been using for my registered nurse applications. I wanted my resume to show that I was different. I wanted my resume to stand out. I wanted it to sound perfect. eloquent and well written. I wanted certain characteristics about me to be in the right spot where reviewers would look at my resume and automatically tell that I was a good candidate. And I didn't know how to do that myself. I didn't know various strategies that you could use in order for your resume to stand out. And I don't think I would have known this if I didn't hire somebody to spruce up my resume. I think I would have continued writing the same bland, crummy resume. And not that I had bad resumes, I had really great resumes in the past, but hiring somebody really opened my eyes to ways that you can stand out from other applicants. Because remember, there's always going to be hundreds of applicants, especially if it's a larger hospital. There's going to be tons of applicants, and you need to stand out in order to get these jobs. During a pandemic, you need to stand out. So another step is I called clinics directly. This was quite intimidating, but I will say I had a little bit of success. There were clinics that were privately owned that were obviously easier to reach than the major hospital systems that own the clinics. And the reason they're easy to reach is because you can directly speak with an office manager and ask whether they're hiring or not. So you're coming in direct contact with the source that gives you the information. And let's say they are hiring, you can then mention, okay, when is a great time for me to come in for an interview? Or when is a great time to drop off my resume? And just taking initiative, I think employers really like that. And they really like to see somebody who is eager come to their facility. And so I think just displaying your eagerness on the phone and displaying your interest and maybe giving them reasons why you're fit for this position. And so one of the things I think is paramount if you want to get a job at a larger facility is contacting the recruiters. And believe it or not, these recruiters are actually, they're really helpful. For instance, I contacted a recruiter for a larger hospital system in my area, and he forwarded my application immediately to the hiring manager. And so I didn't hear back from them, but that was a way that I could get my resume out to the direct source as opposed to applying to this large organizations and being put in a pool and maybe it being reviewed like months later. This was a good strategy to just put my resume before any other resumes, contact the recruiters, research the hospital facility that you want to work for, and contact the recruiter for that hospital system or major health system if there's clinics. Guys, I really want to share this tip with you because this is something I never would have thought of if I didn't do my research. So revamp your LinkedIn. You would be surprised how much this helps. So I revamped my LinkedIn and I was subscribed to Latrina Walden's program. She has a program for graduated nurse practitioners who are looking for growth in their career and also needing tips for jobs. So one of the things she recommended was sprucing up your resume. Spruce up your resume, yes, but revamping your LinkedIn. And I never would have thought about this if I didn't subscribe to her program. And so this is something that I say do, and let me tell you why. So I spruced up my LinkedIn. I edited my area, I guess, where you talk about why your about me section, essentially, like what you're doing, what your skills, what you can bring to the table. I revamped that, and I'm not kidding you, about a week later, a headhunter contacted me and basically told me, like, you stand out among many applicants and I'd like to set you up for an interview with a company that I know is hiring. That blew, like, mind-blowing because I didn't realize that little step could open the floodgates. And so that's crucial. Please do that. If you don't have a LinkedIn, make one. It's so essential if you're looking for a job. And if you do have one, make sure to go on it, edit everything, fill out everything, fill out your skills, have people write reviews on you, do everything that you can. That brings me to my next topic, which is utilize headhunters. So I was fortunate enough to have the headhunter contact me on LinkedIn, but I think it's important to reach out to a headhunter, have them set you up on interviews, let them do all the dirty work. It's such a good tactic. It's so easy to do. Just do it. It doesn't take much time. I mean, just do it. Where can you find headhunters? LinkedIn, Google. Yes. Just utilize a headhunter. 2 things and I'll be done. So one thing that I really did was positive affirmations. I wrote down on a chalkboard that I have that I thank you, God, so much that I have gotten this EMP job. Thank you, God, that I'm living out my dreams of being a nurse practitioner. Thank you, God, that I have the job of my dreams. I promise you, manifestation works. I don't know who thought about this, but looking at something every day and saying that you've already obtained it when you don't have the job, it works wonders. It works miracles. So honestly, it makes a heck of a difference and I highly recommend it. So those are all of the tips that I have for you guys, and I don't want to leave you guys high and dry. So on my next video, I am basically going to talk about, once you land your job, how to tackle the interview. And I actually have a really good book recommendation for you guys that I truthfully, with all my heart, believe is the reason why I landed my first job. So please stay tuned. Please subscribe, like, and comment so that I know you guys like this content, and give me some ideas on what other content to make. But the next video, stay tuned next week, because I will post on some tips to having a successful interview. All right, thank you so much for tuning in. Have a great day.
Hey guys, as always, please comment, like, and subscribe if you enjoy the video, and make sure to ring the bell so that you can be notified every time I post a new video.